offer an acknowledgement and thank the indigenous people for stewarding these lands on which we are gathered today for generations. Likewise, we call upon the presence and wisdom of our ancestors with reverence and gratitude to guide and celebrate with us. So to start things off, we will begin with an uplifting performance from Fav Daka and Samuel Nyandwi. A recent graduate of McGill, now pursuing his master's in urban geography, Fav Daka is a Nigerian singer born and raised in the gospel tradition. He'll be joined on the piano by Samuel Nyandwi, a Burundian student influenced by gospel and jazz music, to sing the classic, Greatest Love of All.
Class of 2022, what's up? All right. Yeah. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. It'll make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. Never found anyone who'd fulfill my need. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Just give them a sense of pride. It'll make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I failed, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me, as well as you, and you, yeah. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. I chance that special place that you've been dreaming of, and it leads you to a lonely place. Find your strength in love.
Thank you so much, Fav and Samuel. Wow, I could feel all the sunshine coming through into this room. Thank you, Fav and Samuel, for jump-starting this event. I want to take the time to welcome everyone, and thank you all for attending and supporting this joyous event today. I see members of McGill's Black Student Association and McGill's Alumni Association, Black Alumni Association in the room, a lot of members of the Dr. Kenneth Melville McGill Black Faculty and Staff Caucus, as well as a team from the Action Plan to Address Anti-Black Racism Working Group. Thanks everyone for being here. I also want to thank Provost and Vice Principal Academic Christopher Manfredi, as well as Associate Provost Equity and Academic Policies Angela Campbell, for being with us to celebrate today. Black Grad is a truly special occasion to recognize the efforts and accomplishment of McGill's Black students, and I would like for all of you to join me in welcoming the Principal and Vice Chancellor of McGill University, Suzanne Fortier.
Mon Dieu, c'est vraiment un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous cet après-midi. Je veux remercier Samuel de m'avoir prêté son microphone parce que je ne voulais pas aller en haut comme ça, là. Je vais être avec vous pour vous dire merci et félicitations. It's such a pleasure to be here today to celebrate you. So I want to start by thanking, all of the people who've organized this event and also all of the people who are sharing their musical talents with us this afternoon. Merci beaucoup. As you know, this is a very special occasion to celebrate you, your journey through McGill, all of the hard work, some of the challenges that you've overcome, and it's really great to take the time to do that. Il faut prendre le temps de célébrer les accomplissements des gens, célébrer ce que vous avez fait et aussi célébrer ce que vous ferez dans le futur. We're very confident that there are great things awaiting you in your future and that you'll continue to be leaders in your communities. Of course, you know that you will always be seen as role models, particularly for those who will come after you. And I want to thank you for that. I know that it is important, I think you know, and probably the Provost will talk about our really commitment to recruit more Black students, more Black faculty members and staff to our university. And you'll play a very important part in helping us achieve that. I think you know that you will be joining, in fact, some real trailblazers who've been in your position before at McGill as students. And I'll mention just two, but I have to say there's a long, long list. You may know of them. One is Dr. Dorothy Thomas Edding, and she got her BSc in 1964. She founded Jamaica's first university-based school of physical therapy. So this is really a trailblazer. And another one you may know about is Alan Emtage. He did a BSc in 87 and an MSc in 1991. He developed Archie. Archie was the world's first web-based internet search engine. And he did that while he was a master's student at McGill. So we all know about Google, and there were Yahoo and so on. But before all of those search engines, there was Archie, and Alan was the one who developed that. So these are real trailblazers, and it shows also that when people are prepared to put in the work, have many, many talents, they can really accomplish great things, and that's what we wish for you. I want you to remember that, of course, you're joining the very large community of McGill alumni. There's over 300,000 that we know of around the world. So you're joining this great community, and you will always be welcome back at McGill. You are part of McGill, and you'll always be welcome back. But before we welcome you back, I hope that each one of you is planning to come to convocation. I hope that we'll be able to tap you either on the shoulder, on the head, and welcome you at convocation. I often say to students who hesitate whether they'll take the time that, yes, it's about you, but it's more than just about you. And maybe because we're approaching Mother's Day, I think it's also for your mom and your dad. I have to tell you, some of us who are parents and have seen our child walking across that stage know what I'm talking about. There's no bigger moment of joy and pride than this one. Your own convocation pales in comparison. You are so happy on that particular day. So do it for yourself, but do it also for mom and dad and for all of us, because all of us are extremely proud to see you being named and walking across the stage at your convocation. Encore une fois, merci beaucoup, félicitations, congratulations, and keep in touch. We want to know what you're going to do in the future. Merci.
Thank you, Principal Fortier. And she's right about the graduation and convocation, so I hope to see you all there. We'll now be hearing from the Provost, Academic Lead and Advisor on McGill's Action Plan to Address Anti-Black Racism, Professor Terry Givens.
That's fine. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be brief because the main reason I wanted to come up and say hello today and welcome you is because I haven't had a chance to meet most of you in person, and so I hope to get a chance afterwards to talk to you and get to know you a little better. I just joined McGill last July, and it's been a really amazing experience for my first year. We've really made progress on the strategy to address anti-Black racism. We're hiring new faculty, we're recruiting new students, and I want to give a shout out to the members of the working group and the Black faculty who have made so many of your lives so much better today. And you guys are really the reason why we do what we do. And for every member of the working group and the faculty and those of us who have worked with you and those who have worked with you over the years, this is such a special day, and we really, really are glad you're here, and we're glad that you are going to stay connected to McGill, because I'm sure you will. And one of the reasons why you need to stay connected to McGill is to keep us all accountable, because you guys are the reason we're doing this. You guys are the ones going out there in the world, and we want you to help us to make sure we keep that pipeline going, that we keep more and more students, Black students coming to McGill, and that not only that they come to McGill, but that they feel welcome, that they see themselves in the classroom, that they see themselves standing up in front of the classroom, and that representation is so important. And so you guys have to help us. Not only do I want you to hold us accountable, but I want you to help us going forward to make sure that we are bringing in the people who are going to create the change. And that's what's really important today. Your generation has so many challenges in front of it, but I know you're up to the task. But also, you need support from us, and make sure you're staying connected, because we can help each other as we go through these many years ahead of us, where there are so many challenges on the global stage and even in our communities. And part of the reason, of course, that I'm only meeting some of you today is because we've been through this pandemic, and it's impacted so many. Actually, I'm just going to take this down for a minute. So pain. It's impacted so many of our communities, our families, ourselves personally, and so there's so much more we need to do to not just get past this pandemic, but to learn from it and to grow and make sure that we are prepared for the next round, because we know there's going to be even more challenges ahead. So I'm so excited and proud to be here with you today. And I'm really happy that some of the family members could be here. And again, a shout out to the team who put all this together. And I wish you guys a wonderful rest of this beautiful, incredibly beautiful day. And also as you make your next steps out into the world. So thank you. I'm happy to see you today.
Thank you, Terry. Around this time last summer, we celebrated the arrival of the Des Hotels Faculty of Management's first Black Dean. So please welcome Professor Yolande Chen.
I'm going to try to do a lot of things. Hold a mic and move through some pages that I've prepared of notes. It's a very important day for me. It's really important for you. And I've taken some time to distill thoughts that are the essence of what I want to share. I'm honored. I'm honored to be here with you all, to celebrate you, to celebrate your accomplishments, and to highlight Black excellence at McGill. I want to thank the Black Students Network of McGill, the McGill African Students Association, and African Studies McGill for organizing this very important event, and for giving me the opportunity to show my personal support and to represent McGill as I speak. I'll start by extending my heartfelt congratulations to our graduating students and also to your families and your loved ones. We've just heard of their sacrifice and their joy in seeing you graduate. You've worked very hard to reach this milestone and under the stress of a global pandemic, no less. Many of you have also overcome substantial barriers to be here today. And I just want to pause for a moment to acknowledge how much you have accomplished. To put it in perspective, McGill graduates upwards of 9,000 students each year. However, when I look around this room, it's clear to me that this year's Black graduates make up a very select group. You are small with mighty impact. You're also a privileged group because of the first-rate education you have received. I have experienced this privilege in my own life. I was born and raised in the Caribbean, particularly and specifically in Jamaica. I come from an extended family of lawyers who to this day emphasize social justice. My siblings and I are all very well educated. Our parents believed that education opens doors, and they sacrificed a great deal to provide each of us with the very best educational foundation. Every one of my siblings and I, every one of us has a PhD. I am actually the only sibling who doesn't also have a second professional qualification as a medical doctor, veterinary surgeon, or lawyer. All but one of us was educated at either Oxford or Cambridge. I believe that because of my education in the US, UK, and in Canada, I've had more career opportunities and distinctions than the vast majority of my fellow Jamaicans. Ideally, I would have a podium, but I don't, so apologies a little bit there. I am MIT's first woman Rhodes Scholar, and I am MIT's first Black Rhodes Scholar. For me, education has been a game changer. It's changed the trajectory of my life, and I hope it will change the trajectory of yours. Education has helped me access networks and opportunities I would not have had otherwise. And that's why I applaud each of you, each of today's graduates and your families, for investing in your education. Today, I'm proud to be the first Black Dean of the Des Hotels Faculty of Management and the first Black Dean at McGill. I see my role as a stepping stone and door opener for others. I cannot ignore injustice, and I always focus on creating a better world for others who may be less fortunate. As I mentioned earlier, as highly educated Black professionals, you and I are part of a very select community, which means that we have the opportunity to recognize our privilege and acknowledge that many of our brothers and sisters do not have the advantages we have. I live with a deep sense of gratitude. And with this gratitude in mind, it has been important for me to give back through my engagement with the Black community in this country and globally. Because of what I've received, I choose to give financially, to give via mentoring others who are less privileged, to give by serving as a champion and voice for others, and to give by living courageously and making tough but right choices. I encourage you to join me in experiencing gratitude and in paying your education forward to promote the well-being of others who do not have the opportunities that you have enjoyed. After all, your privilege and success were made possible in part by those who blazed the trail before you and who made sacrifices. And I want to draw our attention to someone that most of us know, Viola Desmond. We recognize her face on the Canadian $10 bill. We've learned to improvise also. When Viola, an educated Black woman, was removed from a Nova Scotia movie theater in 1946 for sitting in a whites-only section during a time of heightened segregation, she was charged with tax evasion. By refusing to change seats and by fighting her conviction in court, Viola directly and boldly challenged segregation and racism in Canada. She did what she thought was just and right. Today, we are reminded of her courage and purpose every time we look at the $10 bill. What you may not know is that Viola literally went out of her way to be educated, traveling to cities in the US and Canada, including Montreal, to train to be a beautician. She then turned around and opened the Desmond School of Beauty Culture to educate other Black women. Her students were encouraged to open businesses to provide jobs for still other Black women. She gave back. When we look at Viola Desmond's story, it's clear that life is not primarily about comfort. It's about recognizing where we, you and I, have advantages, where we're privileged, and using them, using these privileges to give opportunities to others, and living courageously and boldly. Each and every one of us is writing a story like Viola's, or even like mine, a little page of history. I want to quote a poem by Linda Ellis, who noted that life is made of two dates, your birth date and your death date. It's connected by a dash in between. She writes, "When your eulogy is being read, when your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? With your McGill degree, you have an excellent foundation for your dash. So my challenge to you today as you graduate is, as you write your own great story, the dash between your two dates, how will you make your education and your life count? Will you recognize your privilege and the contributions and sacrifices of others? And will you, throughout your life, give back?" I'll close by saying, I hope that maybe one day we'll see your face on a bill or coin. Maybe one day you'll serve as a dean or university leader. Maybe you'll do far more. I wish you success as you build on the education and networks that McGill has provided for you. Félicitations and sincere congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much for these inspiring words. And thinking of the dash and being here today, it takes me back to a time as a student and my own graduation from McGill 15 years ago in 2007. Old! Back then, there was no Black Grad ceremony, and in my new position as Black Student Affairs Liaison, I've been inspired by the students' determination as well as our Black alumni's willingness to get involved and give back to the community. Through generous donations and important commitments, our Black alumni have been dedicated to supporting the success and well-being of Black students. And to present some very important and new awards, I would like to invite Joy Bennett, Senior Development Officer, Des Hotels Faculty of Management, to say a few words.
Good afternoon and congratulations, class of 2022. There's nothing new about McGill University's Black alumni giving back at McGill in Montreal and around the world. So as we share about the recipients of these lovely bursaries and awards, this is not an exhaustive list, but two alumni whose gifts we chose to highlight today, established in the year when McGill University celebrated its 200th year. As a McGill alumni and part of the university advancement team, I'm committed to give back my time and resources to this community. As part of Montreal's Black community, I'm encouraged to see my fellow community members supporting this outstanding cohort of graduates this year, and who aim to be the next generation of great leaders. That's why I'm delighted to present both Dr. Nicolas Cadet, MDCM 2012, and his father, Mr. Jean Cadet, representing the Cadet Foundation, which also includes Dr. Sylvie Cadet and Dr. Jiwei Yang, MDCM 12, both live streaming at this time. They're here to share what inspired them to establish the Cadet Foundation bursary for Black students in the Faculty of Medicine. And following this presentation, Dr. Patricia Hewlin, Associate Professor at the Des Hotels Faculty of Management, will also share about the Audria Golding Black Student Leadership Award established by Audria Golding, BA 92. Dr. Cadet, Mr. Cadet. If you'd like to go up, you can. If you'd like to stay.
Fantastic, yeah. I'll switch words. Great, so thank you so much, Joy. And thank all of you. I thank all of you for being there. Joy has been really instrumental, so I'd like to thank a few people, Joy being the first of them. Joy is the one that reached out to me and to my family, inviting us to set up the Cadet Foundation bursary. And in actual fact, you know, what we realized is that there was really a need for each of us to uplift each other, to inspire the next generation. And you know, while I consider that I'm still young, I think it's actually a good thing, you know, that while we're still young, you know, to try and encourage others just to try and inspire one another and do something special together. I would like to thank McGill University, as well as the Faculty of Medicine, everyone that's been involved in the Black Candidate Pathway, including Dr. Anita Brown-Johnson, and so many amazing people who have made it possible for each one of us to be here and who have led the way. For us, part of our motivation to set up the Cadet Foundation bursary was, as I said, you know, the need to uplift each other. And also, I felt that there was this need to have more Black philanthropy and to have more initiatives whereby we can show that we are a strong community and that we're able to show each other the way. My motivation also personally is, my motto is to love, serve, and empower. And I felt that through this bursary, I was able to do just that. The message we want to convey Black graduates who will receive the Cadet Foundation bursary is the following. It's that you are wanted in medicine, first and foremost, and we know that historically that hasn't always been clearly stated, right? So you are wanted in medicine, and also you're wanted in every single field. You are able to excel. There's many people ahead of us who have done so. And so we know it's possible. And secondly, we also want each and every one of you to know that you are not alone. And so once you do receive the Cadet Foundation bursary, or you get into medicine, or whichever field you are in, you are not alone. So feel, you know, it's important to have mentors, people ahead of you, pulling you forward. And so my call to you is that no matter which field you are in, I would like to invite you to find your purpose, to find your motto, to go out there and to make a difference in your field. Don't be scared to be an activist. Don't be scared to take bold positions. Don't be scared, you know, to be stared at times and people asking, why do you take this or that position? I think it's important. There's not that many Black physicians or surgeons, or as you get to a certain level in any field, you'll see there's often not that many of us, but in actual fact, I just want to invite you and to encourage you, even if you don't have support, even if you're the only one speaking out at the company where you're at, even if, you know, you're launching a startup and you feel all alone, just do it, you know, just do it, be bold, don't be scared. There's many people out there. Even if you think you're alone, in actual fact, you are not alone. And just by doing something bold, you will also encourage others to do something similar. And so on that note, I would like to present the inaugural award, so the inaugural Cadet Foundation bursary to Victoire Kepadé.
Great day. I didn't think of coming here that fast to congratulate you as McGill graduates. Now I can say a very few words in French. Je peux me rappeler quand mon épouse et moi, très jeunes, nous avons quitté Varennes, région de Montréal, pour aller étudier à une université privée, parce que mon église adventiste, le pasteur était derrière moi, m'encourageait pour aller étudier, pour devenir pasteur comme lui à Montréal. Je sentais que c'était une fierté, mais après certains temps, je ne voulais plus y aller parce que je remarquais du racisme au sein de l'Église même. Je ne m'y attendais pas à ça. Donc, c'était vraiment dur pour moi. Mais mon épouse, québécoise d'origine, m'a encouragé et elle m'avait dit, qu'est-ce que l'avenir va devenir pour moi si je te suis en Alberta? Toi, tu vas étudier la théologie et moi-même, je me suis préparé au collège pour étudier aussi en médecine, mais qu'est-ce que l'avenir va tenir pour moi? J'ai dit, toi aussi, tu vas étudier. Nous allons étudier tous les deux. Et finalement, ça fait 37 ans que mon épouse travaille comme médecin. Et j'ai dit il y a 2 ans de cela, mais je suis parti à la retraite à 65 ans et demi. Je suis prêt à aider les élèves à monter au secondaire, université plus tard. Mais Nicolas et sa femme, Dioé, ont embrassé le dossier et ils ont dit, on va aller plus haut. Et c'est ainsi que la Fondation Cadet a abouti ici si vite. Donc c'est juste pour dire que nous n'avons pas à aider les plus bas comme tels. Il est vrai que nous avons aidé à travers nos églises, mais le temps me manquerait pour vous dire d'où je suis venu. J'avais des rêves, mes parents avaient des rêves pour moi, en tant que né en campagne en Haïti. Donc, mes parents voyaient grand. Je voyais des oncles et tantes qui avaient de l'argent du côté de ma mère, qui perdaient leur argent en dessous du matelas à cause du gouvernement de François Duvalier. Donc, on n'osait pas mettre de l'argent en banque. On perd l'argent. Ils avaient même de l'argent pour acheter des véhicules, des maisons, tandis que mon père luttait pour envoyer ses 8 enfants à l'école. Donc, je me suis dit, pourquoi rester et mourir sans penser aux autres? Donc, je veux aider tout le monde. Que Dieu vous bénisse.
Merci énormément. Now, the Ombudsperson, Professor Patricia Hewlin, will present the Audrey Golding Award.
Thank you, Antoine. Congratulations, class of 2022. And it's so wonderful to see you all today. I haven't had an opportunity to meet all of you in person, and so I cannot underscore how much pride, how much joy I have to see all of you. So many wonderful words have been spoken, so I'm not going to take up much of your time. I'm actually here to represent Audrey Golding, who established this leadership award. In her absence, she just wanted you all to know how proud she is of you. She also wanted you to know that this award is about leadership. Yes, academics are highly important. You wouldn't be in this room if it were not for your success in academics. But she wanted to underscore the responsibility that we all have to the Black community and the community worldwide in terms of contributing our leadership, our excellence where we can. And so the applications, I was part of the committee along with Dr. Givens as well as Dr. DeBros. And Antoine, you were leading this for us, keeping us accountable to say, have you read the applications? Have you read them? And so all of you who submitted your applications, phenomenal. But we can only give to 2. I want you all to know that this award, as per Ms. Golding, is symbolic of not only our responsibility for leadership, but as well symbolic of the support that you have from the alumni. Please don't see this as the end, as Dr. Givens had said, as well as our principal. This is only the beginning. You reach out to me. I'm a professor in the Faculty of Management. You can reach out to me. You're not alone as you begin to knock down those doors and to continue to pave a pathway for your success and for others. So without further ado, the first award goes to Anthony Bell. And so Anthony's not here today. And so we congratulate him. And I know the second recipient is here, drum roll. And it is Eddie Tagandong. Here you are. Eddie, take this, and how about opening so that they can see what you have, and show them. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Quite impressive work in the community, not just in McGill, but in the broad Montreal, Quebec community. All right.
Thank you so much, Professor Hewlin. So thank you to the Cadet Foundation and Audrey Golding, as well as all the Black alumni for your generosity and commitment. And congratulations to the award recipients. That's certainly worthy of a big round of applause. All right, so it's now time to hear from 2 of our valedictorians for this Black Grad class of 2022. Having interned with the World Food Program in Panama last summer and currently serving as Director of Contributions for the McGill International Review, our next valedictorian has just graduated with a Bachelor of Arts and a major in Economics with a double minor in International Development and Management. So please welcome Teresa Tolo.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Hello, class of 2022. I'm so happy to be here to celebrate all of us and our incredible achievements. The past 4 years at McGill have been intense, to say the least, but we made it through, and I thought it would be a good opportunity and important to look back and see how far we've come. And for me personally, when I think back to my first year at McGill, I just remember walking through campus my first week, already a bit lost, trying to find my classes, but also struggling to find my place at university. But I remember just small instances and interactions where I'd walk past another Black person on campus and just exchange a little smile, a little wave. And I think for me that without really saying anything, that signified, hey, I see you, we're in this together, just keep pushing forward. And then I was soon able to get involved with clubs on campus like MASS and BSN, where I was really able to find and be part of these spaces where Black students can come together, just enjoying good food, enjoying laughter, and just being in each other's company, but also having important conversations on issues that are affecting our community. But just when I sort of felt like I was starting to find my place at university at McGill, the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And I think a lot of the relationships that I built were coming into question, and these spaces that we had to be together were placed with a lot of feelings of isolation and uncertainty, as I'm sure a lot of other people experienced. And then this was soon followed by the Black Lives Matter protests, which already with a chaotic year brought a lot of the trauma and the issues that we'd face as a community to the forefront. But I think for me, on the other hand, this was also an opportunity that gave us a lot of platforms and chances to really share our lived experiences and find ways to support each other. And then transitioning back into school and in-person interactions, I found myself really reevaluating the value that I assigned to things like community, shared spaces, and my sense of identity among other students. I originally come from Kenya, and one of our central values of our culture is the idea of Harambee, and this sort of roughly translates the idea of everyone coming together to achieve a common goal. And I've seen this in my family with instances where a relative needed money for tuition fees or to have a medical procedure, and everyone would come together, pool money, resources, time to make sure the person got the help they needed. And I think in the context of our experience as a Black community and soon to be McGill alumni, I see this in the ways that we can come together to support, uplift, and empower each other while reaffirming our identity and our values. So simple things like sharing your friend's hair braiding page on your Instagram story or referring someone in your LinkedIn network for a job. The potential for us to really all succeed by supporting and empowering one another became very clear. And I saw this at many instances throughout my time at McGill. So I've seen how everyone comes together to volunteer for Soul Food Friday or for Dabi just to make sure all these events go off without a hitch. And with my involvement as a Frost leader or with the McGill Summer Academy, I've seen how important it is giving younger Black students a mentor or someone who's already been in their shoes to advise them on simple things, whether it's finding an off-campus apartment or finding a summer internship. And for me, this just to really drive home, which I think a lot of other speakers today have highlighted, the importance of building our community from within, looking out for each other, and lending a helping hand where we can. And this has already taken us so far in history, and I think it'll help us even further achieve our full potential. So as we all move forward into a new chapter of our lives, whether to pursue a master's degree, a full-time job, or just spending time exploring your interests and passions, this is exactly what I want us to keep in mind. And to finish with a quote from the incredible Mrs. Michelle Obama, when you've worked hard and done well and walked through that doorway of opportunity, you don't slam it shut for people behind you. You reach back and you give other people the same chances that help you succeed. So congratulations, class of 2022. Wishing you all the best.
Thanks, Teresa, for all your hard work and involvement. Now, our second valedictorian has a unique path, graduating with a bachelor's degree in music before graduating today with his Bachelor of Civil Law. I first met our first valedictorian when he was president of the Student Society of McGill University. Please join me in welcoming Jamark Earl.
So 4 years, 48 months, approximately 35,000 hours. That's how long most of us have been at McGill, counting down the days until we would be university graduates. It's the amount of time we spent studying or writing papers late at night at McLennan. It's how long it took us to build the friendships and bonds that gave us memories which will last a lifetime. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Good afternoon, Principal Fortier, Provost Manfredi, Dr. Givens, Dean Chen, parents, families, friends, and most importantly, the Black graduating class of 2022. It is an honor to be here before you, filled in the room with so much melanin and with some of the brightest minds McGill University has seen to date. Before I begin, I wanted to thank the BSN executives, the MASS executives, and all of the other student executives who have put time and effort into putting this event together. I'm overjoyed that this event is in person and that society is returning to some semblance of normal. And it seems as though you can all hear me pretty well, so hopefully I won't be interrupted mid-speech to be told that I'm on mute. We're here today to celebrate the many accomplishments and achievements of the class of 2022. We'll be forever known as one of the most resilient groups to have graduated from this university. The past few years have been unlike any other. For a while, we were able to wake up 10 minutes before class, make a coffee, and still get to class on time, even though I personally somehow still managed to log in 5 minutes late. Going to university and graduating during the middle of a pandemic has made our class miss out on a lot of opportunities. Personally, if I had to go one more year without BSN's infamous Soul Food Friday, I would be back here for a third degree. Our time at McGill was difficult, not only because of the pandemic, but because of the ongoing violence, inequities, and discrimination that our communities continue to face. Black Grad is a testimonial to and recognition of these struggles, as well as a celebration of all these graduates who have, against all odds, surmounted these obstacles. Behind every reputable school are great leaders, many of whom are students in this room today. To quote Christelle Tessona, who was a former president of the BSN, Black students have a long history at McGill, and we should celebrate our successes and our history. If there's one thing I've learned during my time at McGill, it's that Black students are capable of creating change and mobilizing on campus. I've seen firsthand the change that has occurred because of the relentless advocacy of the Black community. And when I finished my undergrad in McGill in 2018, there were a total of 3 Black students, myself included, in my faculty's graduating class. It was only the year after my first year at the Faculty of Law that BSN first held the inaugural Black Grad. At the time, I dreamt of the prospect of being in a room full of other students celebrating this accomplishment, and thanks to the student groups, I'm overjoyed to be living this dream with all of you here today. Black student groups have continuously championed the opportunity to make change, to provide resources and support to other marginalized students. That activism is increasingly visible on our campus today. To give you a few examples, it was only halfway through my undergraduate degree that we started to celebrate Black History Month at McGill, and only halfway through my law degree that McGill committed to the plan to address anti-Black racism on campus. The reason behind was the tireless advocacy of the Black community at McGill. These advocates, whether formally or informally, played a mentorship role in the lives of alumni, current, and prospective members of the Black community. To be a mentor, whether formally or informally, is to make a difference in someone else's life. To give a personal anecdote, someone who has played an informal mentorship role in my life during the last 4 years and who is actually here today is Brittany Williams, who was in fact she was in fact the first inaugural valedictorian of McGill's Black Grad as well. She helped me with my applications to law school and provided me with advice during my first year. And beyond that, just seeing how successful she was able to be made me realize that I could do it too. You don't need an official mentor-mentee status to play a significant role in someone else's life. And with that, I want to challenge the class of 2022 to become a mentor for someone in the next year. If you don't know where to start, the McGill Black Alumni Association, I'm sure, can help point you into the right direction. Now, I did my best not to use cheesy quotes throughout the speech, but I did want to leave you with something inspirational, hopefully, that you will remember. And to assist me with that, I have one of my favorite snacks, which is a fortune cookie. So this one says, "Don't give up, the best is yet to come." But to actually conclude, I'll leave you with a quote from the other Obama, Barack Obama, which is, "Change will never come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek." To the graduates of 2022, thank you. I feel incredibly proud to be a part of this student body, and I look forward to keeping up to date with all of your future endeavors as we take this next step in our life journey. Bonne chance, best wishes, and good luck.
Thank you, Jamark. And I also want to thank Brittany and all of my colleagues that work under the plan to address anti-Black racism for the efforts we've been able to do and working with students. To speak on the plan, I'd like to invite the Provost and Vice Principal Academic of the University, Professor Christopher Manfredi.
Well, thank you very much, Antoine. And first of all, let me offer my sincere congratulations to all of you for your accomplishments. I know it's a difficult process to make it through a university degree, and I know many of you have faced other barriers that have made that even more difficult. I also want to thank the Black Students Network and all of the other student associations that have been so instrumental in organizing this event, as well as those associated with my office who've also played an important role. As Antoine said, we're very pleased that in 2020 we were able to launch the action plan against anti-Black racism at McGill. It's an ambitious plan. It has a tremendous number of concrete objectives that we are working diligently to achieve in terms of faculty recruitment, in terms of student recruitment, and we are very dedicated in our office to ensuring that we meet those targets, that we meet those goals, and that we make McGill a welcoming place for more Black students, more Black faculty, so that when you go out into the world, you can tell people that McGill is somewhere that they should be. So thank you all very much for that.
Yeah, and it's with that in mind that I want to introduce our next presenter. He is a project coordinator at the Carrefour Jeunesse Emploi de Côte-des-Neiges and vice president of Quebec operations for the Canadian Foundation for Economic Educations. Part of the plan to address anti-Black racism is to enhance the Black student experience and strengthen McGill's ties to the Montreal Black community, and that's one of the central pillars of this plan. And there's no better member of the McGill Black community than Brian Smith, who's also been a member of the CKUT community for 30 years, so I'd like to welcome him to say a few words.
Thank you very much. Any native Montrealers here? Like born and raised? Or we still got some of us here? All right. That's good, that's good. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak. As a born Montrealer, and as I said, I think about 30 plus years ago, I was invited to speak at the BSN. I don't know if it's something in my pocket. I have a disk drive in my pocket. I wanted to show it to you. But it's just full circle. You students, people do not see the hard work that you put in when you graduate. We're here today, everybody's smiling, everybody's looking good, but they don't see the sleepless nights, they don't see the hard work. Some of you probably even have jobs too at the same time. So I want to congratulate everybody who's gone through that process, but also to challenge. Working in the community since I came back from Boston in 1992, I kind of fell into community work. I graduated, had my degree, came back to Montreal and think everything's gonna be hunky-dory for me. Gonna have a job, corporate Canada, but it didn't work out that way. But I got involved in the community here in Montreal, and it opened up doors to me. So what we're talking about is basically the power of networking. Each one of you, as a graduate, it's your responsibility. Continue to network. Keep in contact with your teachers. Keep in contact with faculty. Keep in contact with your friends, and you could make a difference. We've just seen, and if we have to be real, and I was thinking about it while I was driving up here today, and I was saying, you know what? If George Floyd wasn't murdered, would the world be different? I think so. Why? Because after that, for some particular reason, monies, resources, things like that flowed into corporate Canada, flowed into corporate United States. But we have to make use of what that is here today. So it's for people, those of you who are business students, make use of those resources. Here in Montreal, there's a lot of organizations that are opened up for business, community organizations, those of you who even volunteer. Take the time, get involved, make a change. When I was a student, I had hair. I lost all my hair now. And that change has not come. You know, the change hasn't come fast enough. Or I could say, you know, it hasn't come. And that's a sad thing. But we have to keep on pushing, because I'd like to come back here, maybe not another 20 years, but then we'll see more black deans, more teachers. That action plan of McGill will be put in place. And we won't be talking about, well, I'm the first black. You'll just be that dean. So it will be commonly accepted in our community, so we can be proud and celebrate. And one thing, too, I want to see a lot more black students who are born and raised here in Montreal here at McGill. I want to see that. I want to see that. Because growing up, McGill was the place up there. And working with inner city school kids in Boston, I mean, when I was at Boston University, I was speaking to kids, and they look up to university students. But sometimes they look up to us that we're not even approachable, and that was a sad thing. And I think, I don't want to get emotional about it, but I think that's actually what got me into community work. Speaking to a 6-year-old kid and say, oh, wow, you go to the school? So we have to make a difference. So all of the graduating students, the parents, the teachers, everybody, continue to do the good work. Sometimes when you're pushing through and you say, well, it's not worth it, it will be worth it. You got to push. The leadership comes when the waves are rocky, not when it's straight through. And with that, good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Brian. So we're really here to celebrate, and I think it's time we shake off our legs and enjoy the powerful sounds of author and artist Kairi. Kairi has brought her fiery brand of violin playing across the country through many festivals and performances throughout North America, Brazil, and Senegal, as well as professional and audio-visual, televisual performances. So she celebrates Black culture by melding genres and paying homage to her musical roots. Please welcome Kairi.
Do a little lap dance to the black man, let him know this on the best side. dancing up, none of them, dance, but none of them, from the wild bar now.
Hey. Allô? Ah ouais, OK. Do you speak French too? Because I'm better in French. Yeah, OK. Je veux juste vous dire que c'est vraiment un plaisir pour moi de jouer pour vous aujourd'hui. Comme en tant que Noire au Québec dans la société, je trouve ça important, puis ça me fait plaisir de partager cette musique. Puis c'est quelque chose que je remarque comme pour vrai, je suis sûre que vous avez travaillé vraiment fort. Puis peut-être même que vous avez dû travailler encore plus fort que d'autres personnes. Donc, soyez fiers. Puis on a cette force-là, je pense, en nous. Là, comme vous m'avez donné de l'énergie quand je jouais. Puis ça me fait tellement plaisir. Puis c'est ça, je trouve qu'on est une communauté. Puis c'est important de s'encourager mutuellement. Donc, ça m'a vraiment fait plaisir. Kairi, au plaisir de vous voir. Je vais laisser des cartes sur la table si vous voulez en prendre. Puis bonne fin de soirée et de journée.
Well, thanks, Kairi, K-A-Y-R-I. That was just the boost we needed, right? And through this great performance and the wonderful weather, it's easy to look past all the obstacles this class of graduating Black students have gone through. You faced a unique set of challenges, and mental health among students is still the #1 issue that gets relayed to me in my position. That's why our keynote speaker plays such a crucial role in helping our students flourish. Therapist, researcher, community educator, Dr. Che-Charlyn Birchwood is a multidisciplinary healer, creating practices and spaces to serve communities in a variety of ways, including crisis intervention, individual and group therapy, community mental health workshops and panels, meditation and yoga, and organizing important social cultural events such as Montreal and Winnipeg's first ever Dyke Marches. Dr. Birchwood has worked in mental health and social services for the past 15 years. They have earned a PhD in psychology with a specialization in clinical research and intervention at Université de Montréal in 2021. Their thesis focuses on improving mental health communication through image-based knowledge mobilization. In clinical work, they meld history, sociology, and psychology, giving weight to social determinants of health, such as race, gender, ability, and trauma. Dr. Birchwood has co-developed a novel transdiagnostic group therapy for emotional regulation at McGill University's mental health services for students, and a mindfulness-based therapy for individuals with a dual diagnosis of psychosis and social anxiety. They are the founder of Idées Noires, a mental health space for Black people. Please welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Che Birchwood.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? Okay, great. Well, congratulations, recent graduates. Give yourself a round of applause. So I myself finished my studies very recently. I finished my PhD in July 2021. Thank you. I got my degree in the mail 8 months later. No graduation ceremony either. I did my thesis defense online, passed it with flying colors, cried tears of joy and relief. Then when the Zoom meeting was over, I was alone in my apartment. A very anticlimactic end to 12 years of university. The pandemic has brought on so much change, not much of it good. one second. Backlog of services, stress and uncertainty, online, then in person, then online, then in-person classes. Students have been through a lot due to the pandemic. University was already hard on students, so the pandemic was like pouring gas on a fire. Bad scene. And a lot of us worked. Many of us had multiple jobs even, to add to the pressure, stress, and fatigue that seems to naturally come with university studies. My doctoral research involved university student mental health, and let me tell you, the situation is abysmal. 2016 research from the University of Montreal, my alma mater, found that 52% of students had clinically significant symptoms of depression, and 64% of students experienced psychological distress comparable to the top quintile of the general population of Quebec. And those are pre-pandemic statistics. Research conducted in Quebec in fall 2020 indicates that suicidal ideation among university students was at 7%, and suicide attempts was at 3%. That's double the rates pre-pandemic, which are already much higher than the general population. A meta-analysis conducted on other studies from the same time period demonstrated an approximately 20% increase in depression and anxiety among students. I haven't been able to find more recent statistics, but suffice to say, the situation for students is rough. But that makes your graduation even more impressive. You did something that's already difficult and in some of the worst conditions possible. So congratulate yourself double time. We get time? So not only did you survive university, you did it during a pandemic. And here you are, lovely graduates, a stunning example of Black excellence, defying the odds, carrying on a legacy of resilience, a legacy of innovation, intelligence, and raw talent. It was literally illegal for Black people to read, and speaking our Indigenous languages could get your tongue cut out. That's the reality of the enslavement of Africans. We were intentionally prevented from gathering and sharing information, stopped from building community. Families and cultural groups were deliberately separated, and disproportionate punishments were enforced to keep us in ignorance and thus under control. But we survived. We turned Bible verses into songs that kept us hopeful and transmitted information. We braided escape routes into our hair. We sewed messages into clothing. We stashed seeds within our hair, our glorious, unique, gravity-defying hair, hair that was also subject to harsh legislation and policies that still exist to this day. Always with the hope that we will make it through. We recreated dance, poetry, visual art, coded language in order to survive by any means necessary. Ebonics, African American Vernacular English, Black ASL, Creole, these are not lesser languages or unprofessional. They are a form of resistance and community that is unparalleled. Imagine your ancestors looking at you now, how much you've accomplished in just one lifetime. But it's not just one lifetime. Research on epigenetics shows that the psychobiological effects of trauma can last for up to 4 generations. Things your great-great-grandparents felt are inside of you. Their experiences are inside you. Their joy, their pain, their struggles and successes live within you, carrying you through life. Isn't that beautiful? You being here, powering through life, destroying obstacles, just straight up killing it, will live on long after you're in the spirit realm. I think about my grandmother, who had to drop out of school in grade 3 to work to support her family. I think about her hands, permanently curled into the shape of scrubbing, the result of 6 decades of literally backbreaking labor as a domestic and commercial cleaner. My grandma, may she rest in peace, who told her best friend before she passed away that me completing my PhD is her biggest concern and biggest hope. Nothing like some intergenerational guilt from beyond the grave to keep you motivated. I think about my mother, who grew up in a one-room shack made of sheet metal and mud. which she shared with 6 other children whose parents could not be with them for various reasons. My mother, who went to university full-time, worked nights at the post office, and cleaned houses and offices on the weekends, all while pregnant. I think of my dad, dyslexic, who had to wear a literal dunce cap in class, who now has 2 masters and a PhD. I thought that was a media exaggeration, but they literally did make kids wear dunce caps. Kids with learning disabilities wear dunce caps. So this is to say that we build on the accomplishments of our ancestors. I don't know about you, but I love that thought. You here, living life the best you can, exceeding expectations, crushing stereotypes, will help others do the same. Representation matters, and you're on this planet, setting an example others can follow. You're investing in yourself, you're investing in your family, because let's be real, a lot of us went to university so we could support parents, elders, and siblings. But you're also investing in future generations simply by being alive. What an amazing thing you did for yourself and for others. I'm so proud of you. Your ancestors are proud of you. They trusted and believed they would survive, and you're evidence of their success and faith. My advice to you is to also trust and believe. Believe in yourself, in your intelligence, your creativity. Believe in your community, however you define that. Surround yourself with like-minded people who have your back and who can support you in return, and who you can support in return. No matter how long that takes, have a community you love and who loves you. Acceptance, guidance, and support are so important. They don't need to be in your field or be graduates, just wholehearted people who genuinely care about you. If you're a religious or spiritual person, your community can extend beyond the physical realm. You just gotta trust in yourself, your community, and the process. So full disclosure, I've been unhoused for over 3 months now. My apartment that I once loved was falling apart and not safe to live in. I've been bouncing between Airbnbs, friends and family spaces. When my degree arrived in the mail, I didn't even have a wall to put it on. At first, I was really, really upset. I was mad, furious even, that despite my best efforts, someone else's behavior or lack thereof removed me from my house, my home, my routine, and my health. But I trusted. And the more I trusted my communities, the more in love and support I received. Tears of sadness and frustration turned into tears of gratitude and awe. My community held and supported me. They provided for me beyond my expectations or even what I thought I deserved. Their support gave me the faith things would improve. Every setback led to opportunity. Homelessness turned into buying my first house. I moved in May 10th, finally free of landlords and housing instability. After about 6 weeks of hoping I could return to my home, I went to stay with my parents in Ontario. While I was there, I decided to move closer to them. Within a few weeks, I found my dream home in my dream location. If hardship didn't push me out, I would not have this house. If I did not trust in my community, if I could not seek comfort and safety with them, I would not be a homeowner. If I did not trust in myself and my capacity to succeed, if I did not trust in the process, waking up every day with the belief that things will get better, eventually, I would not have this house, and I would not now have my license to practice psychotherapy in Ontario. This is what I mean by trust, faith, and believing. I'm not preaching toxic positivity. I'm saying that you have already overcome massive obstacles, so when another presents itself, know, believe, and trust that you will surmount this one too. Okay, enough sappy stuff. Here's some advice from a psychologist on being successful. First, be gentle with yourself. Give yourself the time and space to learn and adjust. Be open to change. I started university with a plan of becoming an elementary school teacher. Now I'm a psychologist and researcher. Plans can change, your values can change, your interests and passions, your likes and dislikes can and will change throughout the course of your life. Stay open to the possibilities and the twists and turns of life. Give yourself the permission to make mistakes, backtrack, reevaluate, undo, and redo. They say life is short, but it's also very, very long. You have time to change your mind and to try different things. I didn't plan to be a psychologist. I did not plan to be a public speaker and community educator. I was diagnosed with social anxiety as a young adult, so I definitely did not think I would be standing in front of a crowd at a university I did not attend, giving the keynote address. Well, 2 months ago, I wouldn't have imagined this. If I'd stuck with the initial plan and didn't allow for change, I wouldn't be here now. I would not have multiple jobs that I love and fulfill me in ways I could not even imagine. Second, take breaks. I know student debt, family and personal obligations, and lots of other demands can drive us to immediately go into work mode after school, but I highly suggest taking some time off. That advice actually comes from my chiropractor, who was a registered nurse before doing his doctorate. He said he graduated on Saturday, moved Sunday, and opened his practice on Monday. He told me his only regret is not taking a break between university and opening his practice. And he's a highly successful person, consistently rated in the top 3 chiropractors for several years running. So if someone at the very top of their game says, take a break, I would listen. Even just a week will increase motivation and concentration, decrease fatigue and your risk of burnout, and make work easier and more enjoyable. Reverse so you can jump further. I've come up with a concept I call immigrant hyperproductivity. It's the drive, a pressing need to do the most at all times. Some of it comes from having to work at least twice as hard as a racialized person compared to others. Some of it is a very real need to provide for family and community. Some of it is a fear that you'll lose your status if you don't perform exceptionally. And it doesn't immediately go away once you have citizenship or even being second generation. Like I said, our ancestors' experiences live in us, and immigrant hyperproductivity is one of those intergenerational effects that aren't easy to shake off. So I encourage you, I implore you to take a step back, notice how far you've come, and rest like our ancestors couldn't. In our context, taking a break is revolutionary. Being your ancestors' wildest dreams doesn't just mean working as a means of success. It also means resting, having fun, and experiencing joy. We talk a lot about intergenerational trauma, but I would love to see Black people also experience intergenerational joy and wealth. Ashley. So please, do not wait until you're exhausted to rest and reward yourself. Prevention is key when it comes to burnout. Plan breaks throughout the day, week, month, and year. Rest isn't laziness. It's a biologically necessary regenerative process. Adapt your work to your lifestyle and not the other way around. Third, know yourself, accept yourself, and celebrate yourself. Too often, we move from one task to another without fully basking in our accomplishments. So really, take a moment to acknowledge all you've done and how far you've come. This is different from boasting or being braggadocious, as some of us would say in the Caribbean. It's about being realistic. The reality is that you survived university during a global pandemic while dealing with rampant anti-Blackness. And some of us also have to contend with queerphobia, transphobia, religious discrimination, xenophobia, neurodivergence, poverty and classism, ableism, and trauma too. That's a major feat. And you did it. So take some time and find ways to celebrate after this event. One thing I suggest is to create an accomplishments wall. You can hang up cards, photos, degrees, emails, kind words from loved ones in a place that you'll see every day. This makes your successes an objective fact, not something that you have to convince yourself is true. Can't argue with cold hard proof like that. If you struggle with the idea of rewarding yourself, you can think of it as reinforcing a desirable behavior. It's a long-standing fact that if you obtain some sort of reward after a behavior, you're more likely to repeat it. So it doesn't matter if you're a dog, a rat, or a human, it's universally true. So rewarding and celebrating yourself actually helps you be able to accomplish more. The same goes for resting. And finally, nourish yourself. My latest aha moment I can't stop talking about is the distinction between activities that take away energy and ones that give you energy. I called the first depleting activities and the latter nourishing activities. Nourishing activities could be going to the gym, reading a book, taking a walk, crafting, cooking, cleaning, gardening, dancing, whatever floats your boat. If you're stumped for ideas, the Center of Clinical Intervention has what's called a fun activities catalog, which is a list of over 300 activities that you can try and see if you like them or not. Yeah. It's available for free as a PDF. So nourishing yourself is different than resting because you're expending energy, and it's different than reward because it's not necessarily going to reinforce the desired behavior. It's a way of having a fulfilling, well-rounded life. It's a way from going from surviving to thriving. It's a way to balance the possible tediousness or stress from your job with pleasure, hobbies, and passion. So rest, reward, and nourish, and repeat. That's an evidence-based formula for success. So I just saved you hundreds of dollars in therapy and coaching. You're welcome. So that's it for me. I'm not going to wish you good luck because you have everything you need to succeed inside of you and around you. So courage, good success. I'm so excited to see how you'll change the world, revel in your you-ness, and lay a foundation of Black excellence for generations to come. Thank you.
Congratulations, thanks so much. Thank you, Dr. Birchwood, for your important words and this great advice. And certainly today's Black Grad celebration is all about the students. Your efforts and involvement is truly your time to shine and look back at the time you spent at McGill University. I want to give a special shout out to all the families and friends that are present here and with us on live stream, and to say I'm so inspired by the time I got to spend with many of you and truly proud of where all of you are today. So let's all celebrate the Black Grad class of 2022. I'm going to call upon them to walk to the front, and you can learn more about them and their special experience and time at Montreal and at McGill by looking at the slides. You can then take a picture with a photographer, with Professor Terry Givens and Professor Manfredi. So without further ado, we're going to get, and please take your stools. They look really nice. Great. So you see the photographer, you see where to go? Let's start by congratulating Brittany Achempong, Bachelor of Science in Nursing from Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Congrats, Brittany. And it's in alphabetical order, so you can mentally get ready. Layla Ahuman, Bachelor of Arts, Honors Political Science, and minor in International Development, as well as President of the African Students Society and Studies Student Association, ASA. Congrats, Layla. Next up, it's Elsie Ayajiba, Bachelor of Arts in International Development Studies with a minor in Sociology. Okay. Congratulations to Siku Bubi, Bachelor of Arts with major in Psychology and a minor in Anthropology. Let's go, Siku. Next up, Glory Chima, Bachelor of Arts, Honors Psychology major, and a Philosophy minor. Big shout out to Rosalie's Hair Salon as well. We have Devaneke Dali, a Bachelor of Engineering in Bioengineering. Congratulations, Devaneke. Whitley Delevaux, Bachelor of Science, degree in Anatomy and Cell Biology. Congratulations, and yes, the Mass Gala was great this year. Now I want to welcome a former president of BSN and a Bachelor of Arts double major political science and anthropology, Helena de Oliveira. Congratulations, Helena. On to Siran Goman Ganga Diara, Masters of Social Work. Congratulations, Sira. Best of luck on your new project. Now it's time for Jamark Earl, Juris Doctor and Bachelor of Civil Law. Thank you for that great speech. Congrats, Jamark. A Bachelor of Arts in Economics, please welcome Leila Eromobor. Okay. Isa Gonzalez Peltier Leogal is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Economics and minors in Social Entrepreneurship and History. Congrats, Isa. And good luck with your next degree. Betsy Guillaume has graduated with a Certificate in Human Resources Management from McGill School of Continuing Studies. Now we're here to celebrate Alice Ishimwe, Bachelor of Social Work. Congrats, Alice, and thanks for all your work with WUSC. Natasha Iyama, Bachelor of Arts in IDS, International Development Studies. Congrats, Natasha. Now we have Leah Joseph, Bachelor of Arts, double major Health and Geography and Urban Studies, as well as a minor in Communications. Congratulations to the first recipient of the Cadet Foundation Award, Victor Coupadé, Doctorate of Medicine. Congrats, Victoire, and thanks for all your student advocacy as well. Manyang Lualjuk is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts double major in Computer Science and Economics. Congratulations, Manyang. So you heard them perform at the beginning of the ceremony, Samuel Nyandwi, Bachelor of Science, Honors Chemistry. Smile. Vas-y. Another Bachelor of Engineering degree in Bioengineering, Ore Olua Olasubulumi. Congratulations. Now it's Yinka Oluwadayi, Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences. Congratulations, Ori. Woo. Oh, Yinka, sorry. Beulah Omo Idowu, Bachelor of Education with a degree in Kinesiology. Next up, Dara Onwara, Bachelor of Management, Finance, Computer Science minor, and Business Analytics. Please tell us about your secret study spot. Now, please join me in congratulating the president of BSM and a Bachelor of Science major pharmacology, Rele Orimilade. Gotta love that picture. Now, a Bachelor of Arts, Honors Theology, Kersin Saint-Just. Congratulations on the Clean Air Force Ones. Next up, an MDCM degree from the Faculty of Medicine, Aminata Soumana. Congrats, Aminata. Vas-y. The recipient of the Audrey Golding Award, Eddie Tagedong, Bachelor of Science, Honors Anatomy and Cell Biology. Black Hoko has to come back in 2022. Congratulations. Congratulations to Marita Nou, Bachelor of Arts, Honors, Political Science and African Studies. Congratulations, Divin Tachinda, Bachelor of Arts, Faculty of Economics, and a Management minor. Ornella Teta, Bachelor of Arts, Honors, Political Science. Congratulations to another valedictorian, Teresa Tolo, Bachelor of Arts, Economics major, double minor in IDS and Management. Shout out La Reina. Leila Razek, Bachelor of Arts in Science, Biology major and Political Science minor. Congrats. Congrats, Leila. And then finally, Chiron Richards, Bachelor of Engineering degree in Mechanical Engineering. Love the glasses. Thanks and congratulations to the whole class of 2022, all the Black graduates of McGill University. So whether you're pursuing a graduate degree, entering the professional world, or exploring your options while taking some well-deserved time off, let's not forget to rest, we want to congratulate you all on your efforts and accomplishments. I want to give a special nod to Alice Ishimwe, who is pursuing a master's degree and will be receiving the Faculty of Arts Plan to Address Anti-Black Racism researcher work for her work this summer with Professor Charles Guian. Now, if I have a bit of advice for all of you, it's to stay connected with your associations, with your friends, with us here at McGill and with the McGill Black Alumni Association. Through events, mentoring programs, you'll be able to benefit from a very strong network and help support the next wave of Black grads in reaching their objectives. So as this event comes to a close, I do have a lot of announcements, because we're staying connected. Because of this celebration of Black achievement does not stop today, and it doesn't even stop with this event right now. Often when you graduate is when you can reflect on the totality of your experience, and we hope you can help us better integrate initiatives and support Black students by taking the Black Student Survey that focuses on shaping the future of Black student supports here at McGill. So just scan the QR code outside or talk to Cynthia. It's going to be really important in implementing programs that we want to develop and make sustainable here at McGill. Another integral part of the plan to address anti-Black racism is the Black student space on campus, located in room 216 of the Ferrier building. So some of you have seen it and used it, but we are renovating the spot, and we will be organizing events for Haitian Flag Day on May 18th, as well as African Liberation Day on May 25th. So I hope you can all see you there. Finally, do not forget the Black Grad fundraising gala taking place later tonight. But for now, we invite you to stick around for networking and food. We'll be joined by Candice Maxis, Deloitte's Executive DEI Director. She is not only a well-experienced HR executive, but also someone who prides herself in making underrepresented voices heard across industries. She worked to develop and execute Deloitte's inclusion strategy in all aspects of the firm. We'll also be joined by RBC representatives, providing information about their scholarship opportunity and different partnerships they're looking to develop with McGill's Black community. So you can start your networking now and take some time to soak in all this graduation energy. Glow up. I want to thank MAS, BSN, ASA, and all student associations and the MBAA, as well as the Office of the Provost. I also want to thank all of you, faculty, staff, and alumni for your generosity and commitment. Congratulations to all Black graduate class of 2022. Okay, I think I'm done talking, but it's time to celebrate and relax, and what better way than with Upkong Mr. Pong Itang. He's an artist like you've never seen or heard before. His instrument of choice is the steel pan, originating from Trinidad and Tobago. Since 2001, he's been honing his skills with Sala's Steel Pan Academy in Côte-des-Neiges, SSA, and developing his musical ear. So please help me welcoming Mr. Pong.
shot.
Thank you guys so much. For everybody still here, again, congratulations. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here, especially coming from a mother who's a teacher. She's also McGill alumni as well. So thanks again. I hope you guys have a wonderful celebration for the rest of this evening and a wonderful summer. And if you guys are not from Montreal, I know that this city's gonna have a hold on you, so please come back. Like everybody's been saying, keep in touch, network. There's a bigger BSN, McGill, Black Grad network that you guys should be a part of. And again, congratulations.